Hi management team, this is going to be a video regarding how to start your new year. Every January, so the end of December, beginning of January, you're going to redo your office. That's going to be all new manila envelopes, all new paperwork on the computer system, and we're going to go through how to just prep it so you don't have to do it every month and it'll just be ready and set up for you each year. For instance, today is December 28th, and it is a Wednesday, so this is actually my payroll day. I try to do it the last payroll or office day that I have in December to prep. The best way to do that is going to be doing your computer things first so that you don't need to mess with all the paperwork, since you're still going to be using all your physical paperwork until January 1st of the following year. Like I said, I like to do the computer stuff first. So right now we're going to make a new deposit folder. Currently it's December 2022. So we're going to go to deposits 2022, double click and open that. Once it opens, it's going to go to the current date and everything that's been put in up to this point. We're going to go to file. We're going to go to new and new blank workbook. To get these tabs down here, we are going to go back to our new workbook, and sheet number 1, we're going to right click and write January 23, so it says the following year. You can click this plus button, do the same thing, and continue until December. Your next step is making sure you're on the current tab. You're going to go into column B and type in cash, and column 1C will be checks. This is going to be set up the same every single year so that you know what you're depositing for the morning bag. Column A2, you're going to put January 1. I always bounce back up because it still will say the current year, and I'm going to change that to 1/1/2023. An easy way to continue to do this instead of typing in each column is go to this tiny square, make it a T, and drag it all the way down until the end of January. January ends on the, it actually ends on the 31st. All right, and so then you are set up, and you can do the rest the same for February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Once you are done with every date in the book, we're going to file this and save it. So you're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to save it to our desktop since this is something we access every day. Make sure it's on desktop. We're going to save it as deposits 2023 is what I'm going to save it as. But if you are in a different year, make sure you save it as the current year or the year that you are going to be in. And then you can click save. Once it's on this main screen, you're going to have to look for it. I see ours is right here. I'm going to drag it. So to drag, you're going to left click and hold down, and then you can move it. I'm going to move it to deposits 2022 until we are done with that year. Once January 1st hits and I am all done with the deposits and everything else on this screen that says the current year, I'm going to go to yearly information. I'm going to open that. I have 2019, 2020, 2021. I currently do not have a 2022 folder. So what I'm going to do is right click. I'm going to hit new and go to folder. I'm going to write 2022 information and enter. In that folder, I'm going to drag this, and once I'm done, I can drag December 2020 or deposits 2022 into that folder and then exit out. I'm going to drag again deposits and put it there. That way, all of our 2022 information will be in one specific folder. Once I'm done with the invoices, that'll also be over there. When dealing with our scanned paperwork, we need to make sure we scan that into the computer. Every month, all of that paperwork is going to be put into the invoice folder, which will be over here To start a new folder, we're going to right click on our screen. We're going to go to new and we're going to click folder. We're going to name this 2023 Invoices or whatever year you were going into. Again, I'm going to now move this by the other one so that we're prepared for moving this into yearly information. I am now going to click 2023 Invoices, the folder that we just created, and this folder is currently empty. I'm going to right click within here, new folder, and name it January 2023. I'm going to continue to right click and do it for every single month of the year. Now that they're all in order, you can exit out. It's going to be next to the year until January 1st, and this is where all scanned paperwork will be inputted into the correct month and sent off to the accountants. Reminder, all of those scanned paperworks need to be sent to the accountants within a 3-month period, or we cannot file taxes correctly on the missing paperwork. The next thing that we're going to do is make a sponsorship tracker for 2023. I have used a different formula in the past, but this year I found something on Excel's website, and we're going to try it this year. I have this one saved, so we're going to go to File, Save As. We're going to hit Desktop. Remember, make sure it's saved onto the desktop, and we're going to write 2023 Sponsorship Tracker, and we're going to hit Save. This information right here is just for example for when we do our first one. And if it's tax deductible, that means that we will have a tax deduct form from that specific company that we are donating to. I'm going to try and find the sponsorship tracker, left click it, and drag it over to the rest of our stuff on the right side. As a reminder, once it hits January 1st or January 2nd, whenever your next office day is, please make sure that you remember to drag all the past year's things into yearly information in that folder, and then put it into the correct years folder within yearly information's folder. That should be everything on the computer. Next is going to be all the paperwork within the office. We will do the liquor and tobacco box first. So we will open this up, and it's already labeled into the months. And then these are going to be your past years. We only have to keep 2 years at a time. So this year I get to pull 2020, and I will put it into a different file and store it above the bathrooms. I do need to make sure I keep 2021 still, and then I will place 2022 in the back. When it's your turn, manager, to do this, I cannot guarantee this will be the same brand, but we always will keep a smaller size of the middle envelopes, and we will always keep a bigger one. The bigger one will be a 10 by 13. For the liquor file cabinet, we are going to use the smaller size. The easiest way for me to do that is I'm going to grab 12. I'm going to write January 2023 and continue until I hit December of 2023. Super impressed with myself too. I actually grabbed 12 first try. I always write the date on the top left. It just looks cleaner in my opinion. It's easier to file. I just like the way it looks. It's a lot better. Once I have finished all of the dates right here, I'm going to put them in the correct month for the following year in the liquor file. Before putting in all of our new January through December 2023, I need to make sure that I pull all of 2022 files out of the liquor cabinet or file box. I personally know we just got our last liquor order, and then tomorrow we're going to be getting our last beer order. So I'm not going to be pulling all of December. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go through our scan folder to make sure that there are no other liquor receipts that need to be filed for 2022. Now that that is all done, I'm going to grab all the past months, organize them, close them. I'm going to close them off and then put them right here with a rubber band around them. All right, I did January 2022 all the way to December. I put it in a rubber band, and now I'm going to place it into the liquor box behind 2021. And for some reason, there's no rubber band on this one, so I'm going to make sure I rubber band it and make sure everything looks organized and put together. To start the new year fresh, I am now going to add January 2023 into the January green hanging folder. And then I will continue to do that with all of these. Remember, these have to be the small ones. The big ones do not fit in here. All right, we have the liquor file cabinet set up for success for 2023. I'm going to pull the 2020s out, and this is all ready. We can close it up and prep for the year. Next is going to be this giant file cabinet. This is all labeled as well, January, February, all the way to December. Loose papers are going to be payroll, which is a new system that we created this year. So I will show you that we're going to create new manila envelopes for that. And we're going to make sure that we pull any invoices and receipts for each month. All right, this one is the bigger one, so we're going to use the 10 by 13, and we're going to label January through December 2023 invoices and receipts. I misspoke because I messed up. We are not going to use the bigger envelopes. We are going to use the smaller ones, so do not use the 10 by 13. They do not fit in the large one. For 2023, it is too late. I'm already using the big ones just for payroll, hours, tabs, accountant information, check, and balances. Other than that, I'm going to switch back and use the small ones for inside the green hanging folders. So like I said just a second ago, we got a new POS system in April of 2021 and didn't really have a system in place for our payroll papers. And there's a lot of paperwork that comes in with our payroll from our side and the accountants. This year, what I'm going to do is make 12 new folders, and I'm going to write payroll January through December payroll information, which is going to consist of hours, tabs, and anything from the accountants regarding that payroll. If you question payroll as well, so for this next pay period, today I just did payroll. It is December 28th. Next pay period will be December 28th until January 10th. Because we're getting paid in January, I'm going to file that in January of 2023, even though there was a few days of December of 2022 in there. Do not worry, just make sure we file it correctly in that aspect. So I labeled each one like this: January, the date, payroll, hours, tabs, and accountant paperwork. I'm going to grab everything out of here. So I just did invoices and receipts, and January, the payroll, hours, tabs, all of that. I'm going to go in order and do it the same way every time, and combined February, March, April, May, all the way to December. All right, so I just made sure that this was all clear and empty. It's ready for the new folders to be entered. And then what I'm going to do is separate these and make sure I have the invoices and receipts in one folder and all of payroll in another, not folder, I meant pile. And then rubber band those, and we could put them in another box with the rest of the information that needs to go above the bathrooms. All right, I separated the payroll and I separated the invoices and receipts. I'm going to rubber band them. Next, what I did is I went out into the basement and I found a box. You need to make sure you have a big box. You have a lot of paperwork that's about to go in here and go above the bathroom. The first thing that I'm going to place into the box is any statements that were in the large file cabinet from the previous year. So I do have a little bit of 2021 in there. I have 2020 liquor. So that'll be next. And then from there, I'm going to make sure I do the liquor box, which is what I just did. And then I'm going to move on to the big box. And then from there, I will show you where all of our credit card receipts go from the entire year. For the following years, we're going to add something else to our big manila envelopes. we're going to do our payroll hours, tabs, accountant information, and then our check balance slips, which are going to be these squares for each month. And make sure we place them in this folder for every specific month. So I changed a little bit of the wording on how I wanted to do the new small manila envelopes for the large file cabinet. This is going to be January 2023, and I put scanned documents instead of receipts and invoices because sometimes the invoices are an income for us instead, and we have to scan other documents, and this is the best way to file it. All right, so in each green folder is going to be the small one that says the scanned documents. Behind it is going to be the large one that is for payroll, hours, tabs, account information, and check balance slips. And it'll go all the way through. This is now ready for 2023, and I can close it up. I know this is lengthy and it gets overwhelming sometimes, but you're going to be so happy that this is all done right away instead of needing to do it every month or finding out in June that you need to do 6 months more. Just get it done at the beginning of the year. Every time you will feel so much relief throughout the year. We're almost done, I promise. One of the next things is that we need to file all gift cards, coupons, and one thing that we do is give 10% off to all quilt shoppers. When they bring their receipt, we keep their receipt, keep it with our receipt, and staple it together. Best way to do that is I do use a large 10 by 13 manila envelope, and I will label it. Again, label everything on the left side of each folder. This one is labeled 2023, gift cards, discount cards, quilt shop cards. Currently, those are the only items that we have that we will discount that we need proof of. If there's more that come during the year, I will add more bullet points. Under this whiteboard, we have this wire rack. I will just be placing this right here. Behind this is ours from 2022. Just stick them in there. We're gonna file it up and put it into the big box. Last but not least is going to be credit card receipts. Currently, we don't have a very clean system for this because we have to keep credit card receipts in the office for 1 year, and then they can go above the bathrooms, and we keep them for 10 years. With that being said, this is our mess. With our new POS system, it prints off a lot of paperwork, and each manila folder can only hold about 15 days worth. I'm going to get 24 manila envelopes, these small ones, so that we can file it correctly and store them, and label them January through December, January 1st through the 15th, and then the 16th through the 30th, or the 31st. And I'm going to do that for every single month. All right, so I grabbed 24 manila envelopes and I labeled them. So January 2023 CC slips, which are credit card slips, 1 through 15, 16 through 31, February credit card slips 1 through 14, February 15 through 28, March, all right, and so on. In this hanging rack right here, I have 12 green hanging folders, and I'm gonna make sure I put January, February, March, April, May, all the way to December in here, because then it'll be easier. I can just pull them out and then file them separately once we're done with each month. Now these are all ready for the entire year to get the credit card slips placed in here, the closeout sheets, and ready to be pooled and put into a separate box once they are filled. So the big box that we're gonna keep is going to be all liquor, the big file cabinet, and all credit card slips, as well as the gift card, discount, quilt shop folder as well. So in conclusion, to recap everything that we just did, we redid all of the files on the computer. That is going to be deposits, sponsorship tracker, and invoices. We did the liquor file cabinet, which is the small one. We relabeled January through December, put the correct year on it, and we label everything on the left side of the folder. Then we pulled the 2 years back because we have to keep liquor receipts in the liquor box for 2 years. So I pulled 2020 because this upcoming year will be 2023. I pulled 2020 to put into the box that is going to go above the bathrooms. And then I rubber banded everything and placed it back into that liquor cabinet box. Then we did the large file cabinet box. Remember, use small envelopes, not the big ones. I messed up. Use the small envelopes, not the big ones. Again, label everything January through December. That is going to be all scanned documents. And then label, do another set January through December. That is going to be all of your payroll information. So it's going to be payroll. It'll be tabs, hours, and anything from the accountants that revolved around payroll. After that, we did the one envelope that'll consist of the gift cards and the discount cards. And then we also did all the credit card slips for the entire year. That'll be placed in those. Pull it, organize it as you go. Again, you're going to be so much happier that all of this is done right now instead of doing it every month and going through it. That should be everything for the office to prep for the entire year. There will be little things that you need to do here and there every month, but this is the main stuff that you're going to use every single day to make yourself more efficient. All right, good luck, manager. Let's prepare your year and start off with lots of goals, organization, and prepare for lots of money. And let's do this.